we're all born with great attitudes. You remember when you were 5 years old, and you had a great, you were pure. Okay, you're pure. And then what happens is we go through life and we get beat up, and then our attitude sometimes takes a bit of a beating. So we actually have to work on our attitude, because we have to work on our attitude. So I had started goal setting right around the same time. I started setting my goals, and when I started exercising, then I started goal setting, and I started visualizing my goals all at once, I started hitting my targets every single week, week after week after week after week. And then my income went from 80 to 120 to, I got an offer to be a partner in a company, to 200, and then it went up and jumped from 200 up to near $1 million a year. Just knocking on doors as a salesperson. Knocking on doors. I had 3 canvassers now working with me, getting me the leads, and I'd be going in and closing the deals. And it was, okay, then right after that I started my first company when I was 24, my first 100% owned company on my own. And that's when I met my partner, Pearson McDonald, God bless him, and then his wife, Rebecca McDonald, and many years later, we started, 10 years later, we started Just Energy together. But what happened was, first of all, was the exercise. It was that exercise. So I've always trained people in my sales trainings. I always trained people to exercise before work. And I've often had people say to me, well, Tim, how can you prove that? How can you prove that exercise before work had anything to do with your income? Because I've always trained people. I always have somebody come up and say, how can you prove that? Well, the great thing about this is that in one of the latest books on neuroscience, it's called Power Up Your Brain. Okay, Power Up Your Brain. It's in all of the stores right now. If you're flying through an airport, I picked this up in the Chicago O'Hare Airport. Power Up Your Brain, and I read the book and started talking about the 5 things that power up your brain the most. 5 things that power up your brain the most. You'll never guess what number 1 was. Exercise. 1,800% in the increase in your neural pathways over 24 weeks of exercise of 20 minutes or more a day. So it sort of was, wow. Okay, now I was so happy that I saw this. I just picked this up this year. Okay, earlier this year or late last year, somewhere in there. And it was such I said, wow, I'm so glad that I got this, because I've been so convinced for so long that my morning exercise, was what got me going. Now, why does it get you going? Well, first of all, it clears your brain. Okay, it gets rid of your stress. Because you wake up, you've got things going on in your brain. Some of us have more things going on in our brain, some have less, but we got things going on. We need to clear that stress. Okay, the world is a multitasking world. I think multitasking phones. I remember when I threw my phone away for 3 years one time. I was so happy that for those 3 years when I threw that phone away. I can't do it right now. I'm going to go back and throw it away again sometime, but not right now. I mean, you get so much going on, so it clears your mind. And here's what it does. So first of all, it cleared my mind. Secondly, when I went in and did the sales presentations, my body language was better. So the number 1 fundamental for my CDs is transference of feeling. Body language, energy level, transference of feeling, just like the movie Hitch. Remember Will Smith in there when he's saying it's 90% body language? Well, it's the same thing. The Moravian study says the same thing. If you Google the Moravian study, that's the study that says that it's 90% the way you say something in your body language, not the words you're saying, people relate to you. So when I exercised in the morning, my body language was better, so when I was communicating with someone, they were feeling my intention. They were feeling my transference of feeling. Zig Ziglar calls it a transference of feeling. Okay, they were feeling my transference of feeling. So that was going on. And I was excited every day. It was increasing my visualization. So it was increasing my goal setting. So when you look at this and you say, well, Truestar is based upon the 5 key areas of health. How is this going to improve me? And what's this going to do for me? Well, what it's going to see, if you adopted these 5 key areas of health and used them, to me, that would be your number 1 strategy to put together with your business strategy. So, everyone in here has a different business strategy, whether your business strategy is like John's, or like Dan's, or like Lennon's, or like Amanda's, it doesn't matter whose business strategy is, or like Case, it doesn't matter what your business strategy is, you need to have a motivation strategy that goes with your business strategy. Because it's really, you've got your business strategy, okay, I need to inject some vitamins, so to speak, okay, some Truestar vitamins. I need to inject some vitamins into my strategy. What is it that you want to, because you can't be, and that's what's going to exude, so people are going to see you, and when you say to them, hey, you know what, I just became part of this phenomenal health and wellness company. You know what? We're looking for some really good people, and actually I thought of you. And when they look at you, you say, hey, yeah, something's changed with you. You know, your posture looks better. You're glowing. You've got more energy. You know, something's happening. I notice it in your tonality. I notice it in your voice. Something's going on. You know, that way, to me, it's real. Okay, so you're basically taking the program, and it's the integrity of the program that by following the program, you're going to be way more successful as a Truestar distributor. So this is how it all happened. So next thing you know, I went on a search for nutrition. So I still, because here I was presenting every 8 hours a day. I mean, I was the door-to-door salesperson that was not going out there, knocking on a door, making a sale, making some money, and going home. Okay, I was going out and treating it like a job, just like a blue-collar worker would treat it like a job. I'd show up at the factory at 1 o'clock, and I'd go until 9 o'clock at night, and I'd be in home till 10, 11, 11:30 at night every single night. I treated the job like a job. So I would go out and I would work my 8 hours to my 12 hours a day every single day. Okay, most weeks I would work 8 to 9 hours a day. Some weeks I'd push myself like you would to come for a Super Saturday, and I would go and have a breakthrough week. Okay, so that's on my CDs too, how to have a breakthrough week, how to take yourself to a new level. Because you want to go to that, once you go to stretch that rubber band, it never comes back. Your brain now knows, hey, I'm capable of doing more. So, but I would normally work about 8 hours a week, 8 hours a day, I should say. And but if you're presenting non-stop, as Lennon said yesterday, we went presentation to presentation to presentation to presentation to presentation, non-stop, non-stop, it takes a lot of energy. So this is why I was in my search to gain more energy. So first it was the exercise, next it was the visualization and the goal setting, and then next I was looking and trying to figure out how to eat properly. And honestly, that took me so long to learn how to eat properly. I mean, first it was, okay, only eat fruit till noon. You know, does anybody remember that diet, eat fruit before Fit for Life or something like that? Fit for Life. You know, the thing about it is they found out afterwards that people that are for example, like me, borderline hypoglycemic or have any type of blood sugar issues, which is only about 50% of the population, okay, you shouldn't be following the Fit for Life diet. You need protein in your meals because it's converting to sugar. You're going to get hungry. As a matter of fact, it really, it was affecting some people who were passing out with this. Okay, so that wasn't working for me because I'd get hungry and I would lose my energy and I'd feel, now I started to figure out, I didn't figure it out yet, but I figured it out later. So then people would say, well, eat some pasta, you're gonna have energy, but then I'd eat some pasta and I need a panic. Okay, so that wasn't working either. So when I met, and honestly, until I listened to Dr. Barry Sears on the Zone diet, that should be a balance of protein, carbs, and fat. And when I met Dr. Joey Schulman, who was our lead nutritionist, when I met her, and she educated me even further on this, it was so key that learning how to eat, the energy that it can give you, because if you eat properly, you're not going to be tired after you eat. So there's two problems. One, if you're not at the right healthy weight range for you, okay, or B, if you're tired after you eat, it means you're not eating properly. Okay, so that to me was so simple. See, here's the thing about the Truestar program. It's so simple to follow. It just makes common sense. But probably 60–70% of the population doesn't know how to eat. Okay, people may not be exercising properly. We hired one of the leading exercise developers, maybe the #1 exercise developer in the world, Dr. Tudor Bompa, and his proteges, Michael Carrera and Reggie Reyes, and teaching people that overtraining is as bad as undertraining. So someone like me who's not that big of a guy, I shouldn't be working out 2 hours at gym like I used to go to the gym and work for 2 hours, and then I'd show up for work at 9 o'clock, and I'd be so tired by 5 o'clock, I wanted to fall asleep. For someone my size, I should only be working out maybe 35–40 minutes a day. Okay, so, because again, everybody's different. Some people are ectomorphic, endomorphic, or somewhere in between. Your body's different. And you need to do what's right for your body. And I was learning this here. Now, vitamins and supplements, probably less than 1% of the population understand vitamins and supplements very well at all. I mean, I, again, had taken a lot of vitamins and supplements before I started Truestar. And I was spending $1,000 a month on vitamins and supplements. And, well, why would you spend $1,000 a month on vitamins and supplements? Well, I was the CEO of a company. I had 3 kids. I coached serious minor league hockey at the highest level in Toronto. And I ran a company and I had an active social life. I mean, I was going all the time. I needed my energy all the time. I wanted to be at my best. So I was always in search to try and get my energy level up to a good level all the time. And understanding that, you know, I burn pretty hard. I'm going hard all the time. So I started taking a lot of vitamins and supplements. Then I met Dr. Natasha Turner, who was our naturopath, our original naturopath, who wrote the best-selling book, The Hormone Diet. She explained to me that the vitamins that I've been taking for the last 5 or 10 years, I shouldn't be taking because the men's multis had iron in them. As a matter of fact, iron's not good for a man's prostate. So it's not good for you at all. And so I started taking good vitamins, really good vitamins, but again, when I met Dr. James Hyson, my partner and one of the top vitamin formulators in the world, that was the owner of Douglas Labs Canada, I said, you know, I just want to make the best vitamins, period, at Truestar. Because originally we didn't have vitamins and supplements. Originally we were just the software, and vitamins was part of our program, but we didn't have our own. We started those a year after we started the site. And you know, I said, we just want to make the best. And when we submitted them to NutriSearch, to the company that makes the comparative guide, you know, we didn't even really, we just submitted them and they got the gold medal right away. And you know, the thing about it is that was great, but we made a commitment for all of our lines to carry the vitamins, whether it's our weight loss products, which, you know, I take our blood sugar products, which are part to do with weight loss, whether it was our weight loss products, whether it was our strength products, whether it was our healthy aging products, like True IQ or True Sleep or Joint Support, or any of those, you know, or any of our wellness products, no matter what it was, we wanted to have it at the top all the way across. So it was all of those. To me, it was, these are things that happened in my life. So I came up with the concept of Truestar back in the mid-90s. And I had a company called Neighborhood Protection Services. It was a door-to-door home security company. Is anybody in here in the home security business? Okay, so you know what, you should, I know that you've been listening to my CDs and they're going to help you because a lot of them, some of the things on there are in my experience in the home security business. And I'm going to tell you a story. So the story is that, you know, we started the home security business, and I had a financial partner, and I was running the sales. We were partners, myself and my partner were partners in the business, and I was coming in, I was running the sales, and they were going okay. And this is out of one office in Toronto, Ontario, one office. And I introduced the Truestar program, Body, Mind, and Soul. It was called, I didn't call it Truestar at the time. I hadn't come up with the name yet. I didn't come up with the name until 2001 and incorporated the name in 2001, the 5 key areas of health. But on a sheet of paper, it was called NPS, because that was the name of our company, Neighborhood Protection Services. And it was called NPS, Body, Mind, and Soul. And on there, all of the reps would write down what they were eating, what they were, if they were exercising, if they were taking vitamins and supplements, if they were listening to CDs, if they were reading books, motivational books, how many cigarettes they were smoking, how much coffee they were drinking, how much booze they were drinking, what, you know, and they write down that, and they turn that into me daily or weekly. As soon as I implemented that program, as soon as I implemented the health program with the salespeople, our sales went from about 200 orders a month to 1,600 orders a month in about 2 months. We were. I knew at that time, and I knew at that time that that was the business I was going to go into. This is even before we started Just Energy. I knew at that time I was going to be in the business, and I could see the 5 key areas, and I could see vitamins being the focal point, or the way that people would make their money. I knew that at that time that was going to be my business, because, hey, these salespeople that were working for me, a lot of them had worked for me for 9 years, 10 years. They sat in the same room and listened to the same sales meetings day after day after day after day. And I came up with this new concept, and now we retained a lot more salespeople. And they started selling a lot more. We were selling more home security systems than ADT and Chubb combined all across Canada out of one office in Toronto. And we started doing that by incorporating the health program. The other part was the attitude. So if somebody said to me, well, Tim, if I really want to be successful at Truestar, what should I do? Okay, well, I'm going to give you 2 really simple answers. I'm going to give you 2 really simple answers, and then I just want to run into the attitude section a little bit. Okay, because again, adopting all of these things were key for me. My energy continued to improve, it continued to get better. Right now, on average, my energy is as good or better now than it ever has been in my life at 50, better than it was at 20 when I first started exercising with Mike Edson. Because I've learned how to balance my nutrition, exercise, and my vitamins,